Some brutal news has just dropped as Adrian Wojnarowski just dropped a bomb revealing that Jarred Vanderbilt has sustained a serious injury. So we're going to break down what this injury is, how long he'll likely be out, and how it's going to affect this LA Lakers team, as well as this front office shopping a couple of our guards out here on the trade market as we inch closer and closer to this year's deadline. The reports have been coming in like crazy, and we want to keep you up to date with all of the latest LA Lakers news. We're on that push to get 2,000 subscribers ahead of this year's trade deadline. So it would mean the world to us if you guys could hit that subscribe button so we can continue to deliver all of the latest LA Lakers news. But let's dive into the reports because, again, some heartbreaking stuff has dropped today. And the first one is basically not this one here, but major Jarred Vanderbilt injury update. Now, the Vandalorian is personally a favorite of mine on this LA Lakers team. I know he catches a lot of flack for not being able to shoot, his percentages and all that type of stuff. And, when he initially returned from injury, his stat line, box score wise, didn't look that great. So from the outside looking in, a lot of people might say, hey, what does this even matter? Why does he's a guy that doesn't hit threes, doesn't score? What's the big deal about this? Well, Jarred Vanderbilt has been playing amazing as of late. He's the heart and soul of this LA Lakers team. Defensively, he's not like the anchor in terms of rim protector, but he is that engine that keeps that LA Lakers defense running. He's a good cutter. He's been scoring more on the offensive end. He is a top-notch basketball player, a key piece to fit around this LA Lakers squad. And now reports have come out basically that Jarred Vanderbilt is expected to miss several weeks with a right foot injury. Further evaluation is expected to see if it's an injury that might keep him out even longer. So this again is immediately breaking. It just came out, so we don't have any crazy details in terms of what the foot injury is, what's going on with it, but this is brutal news. It's a brutal blow for the LA Lakers. Now, again, with the trade deadline around the corner, big decisions having to be made, and now you're losing a piece potentially for a long-term period that, is going to be a major sort of building block, major of this team's future, of this team in the short term. We saw the impact that he had when he returned from injury earlier this season. It feels like he kind of caught the injury bug. Something, just bad luck has been hitting Vanderbilt, so far this season. But the Vandalorian, again, he's without him, the Lakers defense suffers a major blow out there. And then in terms of rotations, in terms of changes, I mean, some people have been saying that Darvin Ham's probably happy with this injury, so now it's an excuse to give Taurean Prince more minutes. Not to throw shade onto Taurean Prince, but Jarred Vanderbilt being out there on the court is key. And if the Lakers want to have that sort of turnaround, the acquisition of Vanderbilt last year at the trade deadline was a huge reason why LA turned around the season, was able to make that deep push into the playoffs. And again, looking at his stats, already kind of discussed, 5 points per game, 5 rebounds. You might look at it and be like, Ben, why do you even care, right? 29% from the three-point line. He takes a few, but he's not a knockdown three-point shooter. Why should people be that worried about this impact? But you don't really realize, unless you're watching the games, the type of impact that Vanderbilt has. He's a lifeblood of this team as well. The vibes have obviously been a big discussion, in the locker room about these LA Laker teams in the past, the constant inner turmoil. And Vanderbilt's just a guy that keeps everything steady, keeps everything positive, and is just been hit with the worst type of luck this season. So again, it just sucks to see for this LA Lakers team. It might adjust the trade plans for this LA Lakers roster, heading into the rest of this year. So let me know what you guys think about all these, potential scenarios now for the LA Lakers as we inch closer and closer to this year's trade deadline. But the main thing I want to say is wishing you a speedy recovery, the Vandalorian. I'm wishing, it's a quick injury. Again, the language in this tweet, again, early on, we don't have the full details, but maybe it's just a few weeks. I don't know how several could be interpreted. Several does indicate to me more so than the months, but I like that it's using units of weeks. Again, we're hoping for that LA Lakers turnaround this season. Don't have our draft pick this year anyway, so really have to make that push for the season to get into the playoffs, and the Vandalorian can make a glorious return ahead of the postseason. It could make for a very cool story, but I don't know. It's going to be tough to see. The defense is going to take a hit. Let me know what you guys think. But the next thing we're taking a look at is basically the LA Lakers shopping D'Lo and Gabe Vincent. Now, this isn't news. This isn't news, particularly around D'Angelo Russell. We know, even though he's been great as of late, he stepped up his game, getting buckets, that monster game against the Boston Celtics. He's been a guy that's, been an all-star in the past. He's a spark plug, he's a microwave, he's all these types of things. And the Lakers want to move on from him. And I get it, the inconsistencies, the defense, how Darvin Ham looks at him. Darvin Ham's a big decision maker in terms of who's making these teams. The only untouchable on this LA Lakers roster is Taurean Prince here now at this point. But Jake Fisher dropped the latest details in terms of what's going on with D'Lo and everything along those lines. Basically, we've heard plenty of reports regarding D'Angelo Russell's involvement in LA Lakers trade conversations to fortify the unit around LeBron James and Anthony Davis and front office favorite Austin Reaves. But let it be known, the Los Angeles Lakers have been including injured point guard Gabe Vincent, who's played just 5 games this season due to knee injuries and various trade talks. So again, looking at the stats, Gabe Vincent this year, he's not going to net you much. This is a Kendrick Nunn-esque situation where the Lakers, sure, we were excited when Gabe Vincent got signed. It looked like a pretty solid contract, but injuries have just ruined him this season, and the few games he's played, he wasn't very good. Now, I think the law of averages would have evened out to where Gabe Vincent would have been fine for this team, but so far this year, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and is shooting 11% from behind the three-point line. 50% from free throws. He's supposed to be a shooter, a defensive hound, and all that type of stuff. He hasn't been able to do it for LA. It's probably the reason there's been other rumors going around about other guards out there in the lineup. So don't be shocked, especially now with Jarred Vanderbilt out, if Gabe Vincent, his money is sort of used in another sort of asset in terms of shaking up this roster going into the postseason. LeBron James led teams, and especially the LA Lakers just in recent years, they are not afraid to make moves at the trade deadline. I believe, in my opinion, that they're going to try to hold on, to their future first in order to possibly make a blockbuster move during the offseason, but we'll keep our eyes peeled for that type of stuff, all the latest reports along those lines. But Gabe Vincent, I wouldn't be shocked if obviously D'Angelo Russell's been dangled. He signed a contract that was basically built to be traded, in this offseason. So the Lakers are chopping their 2 guards, but again, the players out there on the open market for Gabe Vincent, it's not looking too hot. Maybe you could get a shooter back from the Toronto Raptors they're selling. Again, draft capital will probably have to be involved, or at least a Hachimura, right? Depending on what you're willing to deal for D'Lo, but we're thin at the point guard position now, the LA Lakers at this point. Now we've lost some forward depth, we've lost some defense. It's going to be tough to see what Rob Pelinka ends up deciding to do with this sort of roster construction. LeBron James, AD out last game against the Boston Celtics. It didn't matter. People stepped up. So there is hope for this LA Lakers season again. That felt like a turning point-esque game. This time of year is when the Lakers seem to really turn on the gas and push things into proper gear to make a push for the playoffs. But the Vandalorian injury is definitely one that hurts my soul. So hopefully some trades can make things all better for the hearts and hopes of Lakers fans. But let me know what you guys think, what you guys would like to see the LA Lakers do. Do you think D'Lo, do you think Gabe Vincent should end up getting traded? Let me know in the comment section down below. Who's going to step up now with Jarred Vanderbilt out in the lineup? Will Taurean Prince become the guy that Darvin Ham, the prophecy will come true? Darvin Ham's sweet prince will he save the day for the Lakers? I don't know. You guys are the best. I'm signing out. Cheers.